Today, we're diving into a really fascinating blueprint that's all about rebuilding the world's single largest asset class from the ground up. Yup, we're talking about real estate and a whole new vision for how it could work on a truly global scale.
Okay, so to really get why this blueprint is such a big deal, we first need to understand the sheer scale of the problem it's trying to solve. And trust me, it's a big one. Just take a look at that number, $613 trillion. That's the estimated value of all the property on Earth. It touches nearly every economy, every life. It is by far the most important asset class we have. So yeah, the stakes are incredibly high. So what's the catch? Well, despite its insane value, the global real estate market isn't one system, not even close. It's a chaotic patchwork of thousands of disconnected registries, databases, and local rules that just don't talk to each other. And this isn't just some abstract tech problem. This fragmentation has very real, very expensive consequences. It's why selling a property can take months instead of minutes. It creates huge costs, opens the door wide open for fraud, and makes investing across borders an absolute nightmare. So how do you even begin to fix a $600 trillion mess? Well, the blueprint we're digging into today proposes a pretty radical idea. What if we created a single universal language for all property everywhere? And let's be clear, we're not just talking about scanning old paper deeds and turning them into PDFs. No, this goes way deeper. It's about digitizing the actual logic of real estate, the rules of ownership, the compliance checks, the transfer rights, and making all of it, well, executable. You can really see the difference here. We'd be moving from this old world of paper and siloed local databases and endless manual checks to a new system with a unique digital identity for every single property, all connected on a global network with rules that basically enforce themselves. It's a fundamental shift. The key that unlocks this whole thing is something called a Ledger Object ID, or LIDE. The best way to think about it is like a unique digital DNA for a property. It's a permanent, global ID that carries all of the property's history and rules with it, no matter what system is looking at it, anywhere in the world. So, you're probably wondering, how in the world do you build something this ambitious? Well, you don't try to boil the ocean. Instead, this blueprint proposes a layered approach. It's almost like building with digital Legos. Let's break it down. It all starts with a universal foundation that defines what a property even is, a piece of land, a condo, whatever. On top of that, you stack a global rulebook with common standards for things like finance. And then for the final piece, you snap in the local customizations, the specific laws for New York or Dubai or Tokyo. Each layer just clicks into place. And this diagram here shows you exactly how that works. A single property can inherit rules from the global, regional, and local levels all at the same time. And because of the way it's designed, these rules don't fight with each other. They just work together, making sure the property is fully compliant everywhere, automatically. This all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually mean in the real world? Let's walk through a practical example that was actually tested out. Imagine this scenario. You need to sell a portfolio of properties, but they're in 3 different countries with 3 totally different legal systems, and you need to sell them all at once. Today, trying to do that is, well, it's an absolute nightmare. I mean, you'd be coordinating 3 different teams of lawyers, trying to navigate 3 separate regulatory mazes, dealing with months and months of paperwork. The risk of something going wrong is enormous, and the cost is just astronomical. It's slow, painful, and ridiculously inefficient. But with this new blueprint, that entire portfolio could be sold in a single, unified transaction. Because the rules for all 3 countries are baked into the properties themselves, compliance is automatic. We're talking about settlement in minutes, not months, with way, way less cost and risk. Okay, so here's the really crucial point. This isn't just about making things a little more convenient. Solving this global mess unlocks a staggering amount of economic and social value. Get this. According to the analysis cited in the paper, modernizing the world's real estate infrastructure could create over $1.2 trillion in new economic value every single year. And that huge number comes from 2 places. First, you save hundreds of billions just by making the current system more efficient. But the really big piece of the pie comes from all the brand new business models this makes possible. Things like instant cross-border trading or automated lending that we can't even really do today. You know, it's not just about the money, though. A transparent, efficient global system could have massive social benefits too. We're talking about improving access to housing, being able to track sustainability goals way better, and just creating a more stable and resilient market for everyone. And all of that leaves us with this one final fascinating question to chew on. This blueprint is for a foundational language. So if every single property on Earth could finally speak it, what incredible new things could we build on top of that? The possibilities are pretty exciting to think about.